welcome back to a Crafty Yarn Podcast, episode 14. I'm Kate.
And I'm Samantha, and we're a mother and daughter who love all things yarn.
So we've actually got quite a lot to show you this week. We've had quite a productive few weeks.
We have, yes. Yes.
So I have 2 finished things and you have...
None, again. But that's okay. I've started lots of new projects.
Which is so much more fun than finishing things.
True.
So Mum's birthday is coming up in about 2 weeks' time.
Yes.
And for once, I am finished my gift ahead of time. The only thing is this was supposed to be for Mother's Day.
But that's okay.
So I have finished my Heidi wrap, which was a pattern by Sunflower Cottage Crochet, I believe. A free pattern. So that's it there. So it's basically just a big long rectangle of this gorgeous sort of lacy stitch pattern. And the yarn that I used was Tranquility 4-ply by Bendigo Wool Mills. So I'll just see if I can show you like how long it is. So it's quite long. And I don't really know what happened. I sort of put it down and wasn't working on it. And then suddenly I just picked it up and just whizzed through it. It's such an enjoyable stitch pattern. I think it's a 4-row repeat. It's just so much fun and I really enjoyed working on this. And then when I made this, I had a little bit left over. So I'm going to make a single skein necklet by Nancy said and give that to Mum as well because I think that's just a really nice use for smaller bits of four-ply. So I didn't put any sort of border on this just because I didn't really think it needed it.
I don't think it does. I think it would actually detract from the pretty stitch pattern. Yeah.
And I think that this is going to be really versatile in the winter.
Oh, it's going to be great.
I'm tempted to make one for myself now because it's just such a lovely...
You should.
Yeah, I really like it. And it's sort of lacy, but it's not too impractically open that you're going to end up cold.
Yes.
And then I appear to be on a bit of a gift-making streak at the moment. I finished my first knitted Christmas gift. So these are for my brother. So I've made him a pair of socks before, but I just thought that he might like another pair. So I think I'd finished one last time, and now I finished both of them. So for the numbers, I used the Sockmatician's toe-up sock recipe, and then for this gorgeous sort of textured pattern, I used the Rhinebeck Roomies by the Crazy Sock Lady. So he likes sort of short socks, so I just did, I think, about 2 pattern repeats and then put a 2x2 ribbing on it because I thought that melded in well with the pattern because it's sort of in a 2x2 formulation. And then this yarn is actually what was left over from when I made my dad's pair of socks. So it's quite good that I can get sort of a pair of longer socks and a pair of shorter socks out of the 100-gram ball. And then just for the toes, I did contrasting toes in just a plain black. And I'm really happy with the way these turned out. Again, I sort of left them for a bit, and then once I got back to them, I did them really quickly. And I haven't got them with me, but I've actually started another pair of socks for another person for Christmas, and I've almost finished the first one, which is crazy because I only started it the other day.
I know, you've done really well. Yeah.
So I think that I want to make 3 more pairs of socks for Christmas, and I sort of just want to get them done so that I know that they're done and I'm not like stressing in December.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
And then once I've done that, I actually want to make some socks for myself because I've only ever made myself 1 pair.
Yes, you need to. After finishing my blanket, I just felt a bit sort of lost with my projects, and so I started a few new ones. Yes.
That's always the best way to solve anything.
Well, yes. It gets you back into it and gets you a bit more excited about things again. This yarn here is some yarn I bought from Bendigo Wool Mills. It was the Calypso yarn in the pressed lavender colourway. It's a strange yarn. It's one of those sort of thick and thin ones. And I've tried 2 projects with this yarn, and both times I just haven't really been happy with it. The first one was, I think it was the Bobbly Beauty Shawl. Bobbly Beauty Shawl was sort of like a cowl, but it was just so rigid, and it had a lot of bobbles and things, and it was just awful. So then I decided that I would make the Blueberry Muffin Shawl, and that was okay, but then I didn't have enough yarn, and so Caitlin was helping me and trying to work out how to make it shorter to fit with the amount of yarn I had, and it just didn't really work, did it? And also I think that it just wasn't quite as open as the pattern looked.
It was still very dense.
And it was very dense, yes. So, third time lucky, I have now started the Mango Sorbet Shawl. So this is out of the Delicious Crochet Shawls book by Lisa Cook. It is such a pretty shawl. It's really got like front post trebles and different stitches in it, and it just creates this really beautiful effect. So I've really been enjoying working on this, and I'm pleased with the drape. It's actually really nice. As you can see, it's really soft and drapey, and I'm just loving it.
I think it's the perfect pattern for it.
I agree. I finally found the perfect pattern for this yarn. So as you can see, it's sort of in sections. You've got these open sections, and then you've got more lacy sections that sort of got a shell pattern, and then the front post trebles create this ridge, which I think just looks really stunning. So I've done quite a bit on it. Like, I started it a few weeks ago, but I'm really pleased with how it's coming up. So I'm quite excited to continue working on this and getting it finished and finally have a use for my yarn. So I'm using a 5mm hook on this because I'm quite a tight crocheter, but I'm really thrilled with the way it's coming together. I think it just looks really good.
So going back to the sort of Christmassy making, I have started the Santa sack from the Simply Crochet magazine that Mum's been working on for quite a while now.
Yeah, I had to frog mine because I don't know, lost control of my stitch count, and I had, I don't know, was it too many or not enough? I think I had too many stitches, and then when I started the colour work, it wasn't working very well, so I had to start mine again.
So this is mine. I think I started it 2 nights ago, and I only worked on it that night, and I think I've got 4 rows, so I'm pleased with that. So I'm just sort of working on the bottom bit, and then we'll go into the colour work with the Christmas trees, which I'm really excited about. I've never actually done colour work with cotton before.
I've never actually done any colour work, so I'm actually quite looking forward to trying it, yeah.
Colour work is really fun. I feel like especially with double crochet, it's quite a bit easier in double crochet.
Is it? Yeah.
So I'm really excited to be working on this because realistically it's only 5... Well, I want to have it done for the start of Advent season, which is only like 4 and a bit months, I guess.
Yeah, so we really do both need to get to work on it. The problem we're having though is the yarn that we bought from Lincraft, they have a million colours, and they have this gorgeous chocolate brown called Cappuccino, but it has been out of stock for months and months, and the main part of the front is a reindeer, which requires the chocolate yarn. So we're sort of a bit stumped as to what we're going to do if they don't get the yarn back in. I don't really. And brown cotton yarn, I had a quick look the other day, it's really hard to find, so I'm not really sure what we're going to do. I contacted Lincraft, and they didn't know when it was going to be back in, so it's just sort of a wait and see, but we do have quite a bit of work to do before we will need the brown, but we're just hoping that we're going to be able to get it.
Well, this particular yarn, it's the organic cotton, and it's marketed as an 8-ply, but it's a very thick 8-ply. Like, we've got other 8-ply cottons, and they're just not this weight and this thickness. And what we did was we bought sort of like a slate grey to do the tree trunks, because we thought, well, if we can just do those now and then work out the brown later, but it's all like
more like an Aran weight, isn't it?
Yeah, but
so,
it's a lovely yarn, but you can't really have a grey reindeer.
No, so we have to hope that they get it back in.
I hope so, because otherwise it's going to be really disappointing.
Well, it is. Well, we're going to have to think of something else, but
maybe Bendigo.
Yeah. I also started another shawl. I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce the name, so I'll put it on the screen. So it's a pattern by Annie Design Crochet, which I love her patterns. They're really nice and easy. So this is just a basic 2-row repeat. So it's really quite nice and relaxing. I like to have a sort of simple project on the go as well as my more complex ones. So especially if you want to crochet on the go, you don't really have to think, and you don't have to have the pattern with you. So this is using a cotton cake that we got from Hobby quite a few years ago now, actually.
Oh, that's just stunning.
So yeah, it's really quite a nice open sort of lacy pattern, but it's really very enjoyable. So it starts at the bottom and you work up, and then you go back and work sort of like a border on the bottom part.
A very thick border.
It is, isn't it? Yeah. So this cake yarn, it's actually unwound because I think, did we use it for a different project or something? So yeah, and then it's going to head into the blues, and then it sort of becomes quite a dark purpley blue, I think. Yeah. So it's the same yarn that I used to make my very original angel wing shawl. Yeah. So it's really nice to work with cotton. I love it. So yeah.
I've actually got the same yarn, but instead of like a, what is it, like a...
It's a mulberry colour, isn't it? And I think it's got cream, maybe? Mulberry and cream?
I think so.
Yeah.
And I'm actually thinking of starting the exact same thing because I just love it so much.
You should, yeah. It's really nice.
I might actually start that this week. I feel like a new shawl.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get a bit sick of making gifts.
Well, you do, yes.
Which sounds terrible, but... No.
It's nice to make something for yourself as well. But as I said, I like having a project that's sort of simple, and as well as the more complex ones. Yeah.
So we've been making crochet book cozies. We were planning on joining in with a make long, but that ended at the end of June. We didn't quite get it finished in time.
No.
Unfortunately, but we still want to finish them. So we were both originally making the Kindred Spirits book cozy by
Stitchberry, it's called.
Stitchberry.
Yeah.
And Mum's continued on with hers, but I found that mine just wasn't working for me.
I think what the problem was is you can make it any size you want. The pattern just, you measure the book and then you decide how big you want it to be. I erred on the side of being a bit bigger than the book because I'm a tight crocheter, and I thought, well, I don't want it to be too snug and you can't get the book on in there. So I measured a bit bigger than the book that I was making it for. So mine was actually a good fit, but I think you made yours a bit smaller.
I followed the instructions.
Yeah, and well, yeah, I went off piece, did I? Yes. So Caitlin's ended up a bit snug. So then she decided that she would actually try a different one.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So I'm following a video tutorial for a granny square one, and I've made all of the granny squares, so I just need to join them together and then do whatever else is required to finish it off. But these are the squares. So I've got 6 that are all the same. So I've got this bright yellow, and then, oh, I love this yarn so much. It's this really nice multicolored variegated one, and then sort of a bluey shape.
Yeah.
And I just really love the colours together. And I'm really excited to see how this turns out. I think that's going to be really nice.
It's really pretty.
Yeah.
There's so many different crochet book cozies out there, isn't there? They're so pretty, yeah. So mine is just basic double crochets. And I actually ran out of the purple yarn and I had to put the white on the top. But actually, I think it makes it. I think it's really nice. It just looks like it was a border on the top. And then it's just got a little loop that you put the button on with. And then you crochet this bit separately, so that's the pocket. So it's just sort of like a daisy pattern in the middle. And then it's got the same edging as the top of the book cozy. So then that will just...
Oh, those colours are just amazing.
sit on there like that. I've just got to... So I haven't got much to do. I've just got to sew the ends in and then sew this on and a button, and it's quite close to being finished, but I just love it. I think it's so beautiful. And I fell in love with the name of it, Kindred Spirits. That's how I decided on this one. Yeah.
I would definitely like to make one of those.
Yeah, you just need to make it a little bit bigger.
Yeah. But I thought that I was on a bit of time crunch, so I...
Yeah, well, yes, but then, yeah, we didn't end up getting
anyway,
it finished in time. But anyway, it doesn't matter.
It's not the end of the world.
Yeah, last time I mentioned about my vintage cardigan, which I haven't touched in months. I actually can't remember the last time. It's one of those things, you know, for whatever reason, you put it away and then you just forget about it. And I thought, well, it is cold this year, colder than it has been for quite a few years here. So I thought I would really actually like to get it finished. So it was in the Ladylike in Crochet book, and it's this one here that I've been making. So it's a zippered sort of cardigan, I guess you call it. They call it a jacket, I think. And now that I've started working on it again, I'm really enjoying it, and I actually wonder why I put it away. But anyway, I think I was getting a bit confused with the increases on the sleeve or something. So so I've got the whole body made, the 2 fronts and the back, and I've just got the sleeves to go. So I really don't actually have that much to do. So this was using the Bendigo, what's it called again, Caitlin?
Classic 8.
Classic 8 ply in the Ensign colourway. I actually really like working with this crepe yarn. It gives really good stitch definition, and
That's a lovely
it is a lovely yarn, yeah. So this is my sleeve, and this is my stitch marker here where I was up to last time. So I've actually done quite a few rows, and I've only been working on it the last couple of nights. So it's just got this really nice textured detail that runs down, which looks really, really nice. So for this one, I'm using a 4.5mm hook. So hopefully by next time I might be able to get at least this sleeve finished, which would be good.
That would be great.
Yeah.
So that's all of the projects that we've been working on. And I just have one thing to show you that I got for my birthday the other week from Mum. So I got this lovely book, so it's called Knitting Socks from Around the World. And it's just, it is a beautiful book. It's just got so many gorgeous patterns. I'll just show you the back. And they're all like sort of like traditional like colourwork ones from different countries. I specifically love that one in the middle. It's such an inspiring book. Like, I don't know whether I would actually be able to achieve any of them, but
Oh, you will.
like, there's just so many, and like the photography is beautiful. This was my favourite. That one there.
That's stunning, isn't it?
It is, and we looked through it together, and it was so much fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really unusual socks, aren't they?
They are.
Yeah.
Like, that one there's got like cables along the cuff. Like, they're just.
But as I said to Copeland, she made 2 beautiful cabled jumpers, so I'm sure that she'll be able to do the socks.
So that's everything that we've got to share for this podcast, and we'll hopefully be back with you soon with some progress on our many, many, many projects.
Yes, well, at this time of year you get extra crochet time, don't you? Because it's so cold and dark. Yes. So until next time, happy crafting.